Today I'm gonna show you my talent. Welcome to my creative corner. I am Bongiwe and I love sewing. Today I am going to be showing you how I turn this thrifted men's blazer into this stunning little dress. The first step to every upcycling project is undoing the seams, especially the ones you're not going to need. So I usually cut up pieces that I won't actually be using, like the arms. I knew that there's no need to use a seam ripper because that takes longer. I just use a scissor and set that aside as scrap fabric. I also removed the shoulder pads as I was not going to use them, but remember, we do not waste material. So anything that I remove, I usually just set aside for future projects. So my house is literally a living future project storage place. And the rest of the process involved undoing the lining so that I can adjust the main fabric and lining separately to get that clean look. I wanted to have the dress open at the front and the zip at the back, so that means I basically needed to remove the buttons and lapels in front. So I literally just drew a straight line as close as possible to the buttonholes, again to preserve as much fabric as I can because I don't have so much, and when you are shaping the material you want to make sure that you're working with as much allowance as possible. So basically cut it up to the neckline. Did the same for the opposite side. Just took the piece of material I cut on the button side, laid on the other side, and cut that up to make sure that the sides are uniform. Because the jacket was so big, I pinned the back, took a huge chunk, I think about 4 inches. Sew that down, fitted the jacket to see how far I still have to go to shape it. So I was avoiding shaping the sides a lot. I wanted to shape at the back as much as possible, but making sure that it's equal to the front. So when I shape at the back, I'll make sure that I sort of shave off at the front of the jacket. Another important piece when you are upcycling is depending on what you're doing, right? So for this jacket, I wanted to make sure that my bust line fits properly. So that's why I basically measured from my shoulder to where my bust line hits, which is obviously the biggest part, to make sure that there I stick to my measurements. And then I didn't want to go too tight on the waist because I didn't want the dress to ride up. And there I sort of tried as much as possible to get close to my measurements without it being tight because the material doesn't stretch. Also, I didn't want any discomfort there. Same with the hip line. There I wanted to make sure that I give myself as much allowance as possible. Didn't want it to be too tight. I kept it loose. Have you ever noticed how suit jackets usually look like they have a front fake pocket? I'm referring to the one on the waist. Well, how that works is that they usually do have an actual pocket made. It's just that they sew it into the welt pocket, and this only applies to self-respecting fashion houses. I don't know why that then sounded like an unintended sub to Shein, but anyway, what this does is that it makes it easy for when you want an open pocket. All you have to do is to seam rip, and you just have a pocket. And for me, because I wanted a flap, I didn't need to attach a new one. All I needed to do was seam rip, measure the length of the flap that I want because the pocket is very long, sew it down there, turn it over, iron it down. So some might actually use lining for the complete pocket, but high quality ones usually use the jacket material itself and then line it, so that if, just like me, you want to turn it over into a flap, you actually do not have to redo the entire thing. Goodness, let me tell you about this material. Listen, so this is gabardine. Gabardine literally frays like hell. And I didn't know. I saw this very nice material. I couldn't tell what it was because of the interfacing. So very stiff and held together by the interfacing, only to find out that it is gabardine. And girl, I think that's when I took a break for like a week because it was so frustrating. I then decided to interface it and actually serge it all over, which is something that you wouldn't find a lot in blazers because the seams will never be exposed, so they don't really finish them and all that. But I had to because I was scared that should I gain a bit of weight, then we might have a problem with now cracks starting to show since the material frays so much, right, with washing, etc, etc. So yeah, I literally just decided that I'm going to interface and finish it. Friends, are you seeing this dress? Are you seeing this? I can't get over it. I just cannot get over how perfectly tailored and fitted this dress is. I can still move. So yeah, I will see you next time. Love you, bye.